joining us, Ryan Hart, Executive Director of the President's Cup. Ryan, welcome to Golf Talk Canada.
Thanks, Adam. What a kind of setup is this?
Isn't this
it's
cool?
Unbelievable.
Isn't this cool? It's a nice place to sit and watch some golf. You can get out there, maybe go on the crowd back there and check it out. So it's a lot of fun. But for you, what's your excitement level? President's Cup, we're only a couple months away.
117 days away, I'm told, but who's counting?
Oh, yeah. A little shot tracker there. Yeah.
No, we're extremely excited. I mean, I think when you come to the National Open, it kind of kicks off that final stretch for us. And we've got a large member of our team here this week and meeting with so many people that really have gotten involved along the way over the last few years. And, I think we said it probably in the fall of 2020, we're humbly hosted in Montreal, but we want this to be Canada's event. So we're starting to feel that groundswell and the excitement's building.
So a 20% increase in build-out here for the RBC Canadian Open from last year. What kind of build-out can we expect at Royal Montreal in late September?
I think the numbers so in 2007 when it was there to what we're going to build now, I believe the number is something like 300% increase in size. So it's a bit of a different ball game, but from what we used to do. But I think it's because we changed how we presented golf. Back in 07, it was very much a lot of stuff was built on the members' driving range, all the hospitality, and it was sort of keeping people back from play. Where now the mindset is really, especially with the excitement of match play, how do you get people right on top of play? So we're going to build a little north of 600,000 square feet of floor space on Royal Montreal, a small city, this fall. We started building last October, so it takes a while, but it's coming together.
And for that, can you take anything from walking around here? And actually, can you physically take anything from here and apply it to at the Royal Montreal?
I think the first part of your question, I think we can always learn from each other. And this event has grown exponentially. I was here the last time it was in Hamilton, or 2013 was the last time I was here when it was in Hamilton.
Right.
And you just see the growth of this event. And so I think, I spent a lot of time with Brian Crawford 2 days ago and swapping ideas and things that they've learned along the way. It's been a while since, I've done an event in Canada, so it's great to have a friend like Brian to share what he's learned over time. But physically, yes, there's a lot of the scaffolding here that we're waiting for in Montreal. So they've been kind enough to share some of the build with us. So as soon as this event's over, I think a percentage of it goes to the Canadian Women's Open, and the rest coming to us.
And we're here on the rink hole. Will there be a rink at Royal Montreal, or can you maybe give us a little teaser, perhaps? And any thought around that, anyway?
You know what? I think a lot of people have asked that, and when we went into it, I think Golf Canada has done an amazing job with branding this.
Yes,
and I think they're known for it. I think what we've tried to do as a team when we originally mapped out the course was how many amphitheaters could we build? So, we'll have a build out on 13 of 18 holes.
Wow.
When you really enter that, high heartbeat stretch run of 13, 14, 15, 16, 13, long par 3, similar to what's behind us here. We will have a full amphitheater, double deckers on either side, fan bleachers right behind it. And then there's a natural amphitheater on 14 because of the water. 14 and 10 sort of create its own. So we've got structures all the way around that water. And then you get to 15, and there's a massive sort of structure behind that. And then 16, there's sort of another natural amphitheater between 16 and 17. So I would say we would have many variations of the rink hole without the branding.
Oh, that's exceptional. We're with Ryan Hart here, Executive Director of the President's Cup, and it's at Royal Montreal. What does that mean to host a tournament like this at a golf course like that with so much history?
It's an honor to be there. When you're at the oldest golf club in North America that has had so many events and so much experience, I think the membership, working with them, has truly been a pleasure. The amount of volunteers that we've got, I would say north of 90% of the volunteers for the event are from Royal Montreal.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's huge.
It's passionate. When you look at our total sign-up now, they're either a member there or they're a friend of a member. We never really had to go to the public, which in some ways was a bit sad. But between Golf Canada our friends here, and Royal Montreal. Like, the support has been unbelievable. And the great part is they're so vested in events that they have there. They can tell you in 2014 this went here, in 2007 this went here, and tell you what was good and bad about it. So it's been a great relationship, and hearing the stories and how the course has changed over time. And then seeing the guys come through. I mean, when our captains have been in town, you hear them talk about, what it was like to play there, either in '07 or in a Canadian Open. And I think it's an exceptional track. It's one of the few tracks that we didn't have to reroute for the President's Cup.
Right.
We play it straight up as every member plays it every day. I think it's a great course for match play. The front nine's right in front of you. The back nine has got a lot of risk reward to it. A couple areas you can, take a shot at cutting some corners if you're really feeling good about things. And I think it's a great course for the fans that way. And I think that the other amazing part about it is, we'll have 3 main fan areas in and around the course, trying to sort of split up the property. It's a big ballpark.
I'm so excited just hearing everything you're saying here. And I have to tell you, one of my favorite events to watch is the Ryder Cup. And we know the atmosphere that the Ryder Cup has. What kind of atmosphere are you expecting at the President's Cup?
I think team golf and the pride and the passion that comes around team golf, obviously we're in a very individual style sport, and you get people putting their country's flag on their arm or through the shield on the international team. I think you have a whole different level of energy that comes from the players, and that bleeds into the fans. And so I think from the word go, I think Captain Weir said it best. We have to figure out a way to bring the Bell Center on a Saturday night, Toronto versus Montreal, fans going nuts, bring that atmosphere to the first tee at President's Cup at Royal Montreal.
Wow. And all I'm hoping for, I love, especially in Europe for the Ryder Cup, how the fan chants. They're very coordinated. Perhaps we can help on Golf Talk Canada get some coordinated fan chanting going.
I like it. Are you volunteering?
I could.
Yeah.
I haven't officially put my name in yet, but maybe after this interview,
I think we can do that. You can write out some of your own chants.
I'd love that.
Get some training courses set up on the first tee.
Now we're talking. You mentioned Captain Weir, who is playing this week at the RBC Canadian Open. What's it been like working so closely with Mike, and what do you expect him to be as a captain?
I think, like many of us, I don't know if I'm in golf if it wasn't for Mike Weir.
Yeah. Good point.
And even on the business side. I think there's so many of us that can say we remember where we were when he won the Masters, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And what we were doing in that moment and so on. And I think it inspired so many of us to really want to get engaged. So to be able to work alongside him, he's very engaged. He's probably involved in more details than people think. And he thinks big. He thinks big picture about it. And I think that there's an exceptional pride for him being Canadian and having this event in his backyard. He wants it to be the biggest and best it's ever been. And I think that the drive of a successful athlete, and you feel that passion from him, it only pushes us and the team to want to create that and set the stage. And talking to both captains when they were in town last fall, I said, our job is to set the stage.
Yeah.
And any input that they can give us based on other President's Cups or Ryder Cups that they've played in, I mean, we're like a sponge. We want to take that and do what we can with the property that we're given to create the best atmosphere for not only the players, but the fans too.
And you mentioned his passion there. I'm so excited to see his passion as a coach, because he's still passionate as a player. Oh. When I was at Augusta National for the first time this year, which was an incredible experience, and I walked on property the Saturday before the tournament, and here I am just wide-eyed, basically mouth or jaw on the floor, and I look at the practice area. Look who's there, Mike Weir. He's grinding in the bunker, and the tournament starts 5 days later. I'm so excited to see Weirzy in this role. Now, Weirzy spoke with Weeksy last year.
We need W's in our last
name. We do. We're missing out on that for sure. But Bob gave Mike an over-under on 2.5 Canadians on the International President's Cup team. What do you think? Over or under 2.5 Canucks?
Is that including your captain?
That is not including your captain.
I like the over.
Yeah.
I think that the international team across the board is shaping up to be exceptionally solid, as is the U.S. side. But, when you look at the amount of Canadians in the top 20 right now, what is it, 5-6 Canadians in the top 20 in the standings? That is hard not to imagine there are going to be multiple Canadians. But, I think Mike said it best right from the word go when he announced his captaincy. He said, I understand where we are. I understand where we're playing and the nationality that I am. But he said, but we're here to win.
Yep.
And the players have to be playing the best golf they can heading into it, and I give him a lot of respect for saying that, and I hope our country does too.
Yeah, we're so excited for that for sure. And a really cool thing about the depth of Canadian golf, on our show about a month ago, Bob, Mark, and I each picked our teams.
Okay.
And none of us had Taylor Pendrith on that team. What happened that weekend? Taylor Pendrith won. So that totally flipped the switch. Taylor Pendrith now 14th on the standing. So things change quickly. Now, before we wrap here, Ryan, those watching, those listening, they're loving what they're hearing, and they want to be there. How are ticket sales going?
Tickets, we've been on sale since the week of the Masters, so not very long. And I would say that, overall, we're north of 50% sold, which is, what's that, 6 weeks in? It's unbelievable. I mean, the support in Canada has truly been amazing. Saturday, I believe we're creeping up on 80%, almost to a sellout on Saturday. So that's a big one. And, the coolest thing I have to say, and the data geek in me, when you look at Ticketmaster and you can see where everybody's buying from, I think we're missing one province right now.
Wow.
When you look at it, we're missing one province. I'm not going to call that province out, but we're missing one province, and I think that is huge for us in our ultimate goal of having someone from coast to coast and making this Canada's event.
I'm so excited for the 2024 President's Cup at Royal Montreal. Ryan, we'll see you there too. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thanks for the support.